Hello friends, and welcome to this editions of Africa in Crisis. And this editions we're going to be talking about the present situation in Ivory Coast. Just a week ago, the former president of Ivory Coast, Laurent Gbagbo, was captured by the rebel forces by the help of the French troop. But what can we learn as Africans, and what can our leaders in Africa learn from the situation in Ivory Coast? Power, power, power. African leaders are taking advantage of their people. Some African leaders are taking advantage of their constitution, because I believe in every part of Africa the constitution is there in plain black and white that a leader should be in power for a certain amount of time or 2 terms. But sometimes they go above that term. That's where the problem comes in. And whenever they go above that terms, the people got tired of them and the people want to change. And as a result, they glued to that power. They don't want to give up power. And as a result, again, this is how things begin to happen. People begin to uprising and demonstrations, and things happen. People pick up arms and try to fight the government, and people die. But the situations in Ivory Coast, Laurent Gbagbo, former presidents, were disgraced in a sense where he could have given out power honorably, but he refused. To my surprise, after his capture, he's now appealing to his people to lay down their arms. Why is it that it took him so long? He should have done that a long time, while thousands of people would die before he can appeal to his people to lay down arms. Over half millions of people of Ivorians are either in refugees camp displaced. What can we learn in Africa? Why is that African leaders continue to click onto power? Why is it that African leaders who travel in Europe and America cannot see the democratic process that is taking place? Most of our leaders are educated in the United States. Most of our leaders are educated in Europe. And yet still to go back home, they are not practicing pure democracy. Government of the people and by the people. Why is it that we as Africans, we are not going according to what we wrote in our own constitution? The constitution in most African countries require 2 terms in office. But people in Africa, especially the leadership, have been in decades and 42 years or 2 decades. It's been long in power. Why is it that they're so clicking to power? One of the reasons I believe is because some of the leaders, after doing all kinds of things in power, abuse power, they are afraid to step down. They are afraid to step down to the point where they feel that others will hunt them because of what they have done. So why are they in power? Why are they clinging on to power? Why they don't want to give up power? Why is it that the terms are over and they don't want to? African leaders, this is the time the people of Africa will rise up. This is the time the people from the North Africa to South Africa will rise up and tell the leaders it is over. After your 2 terms, step down. Give others the chance. Africa belongs to all Africans. It's not a private property. It's not a private farm. The situations in the Ivory Coast is a warning to leaders all over. It's a warning to leaders in Guinea. It's a warning to leaders in Liberia. It's warning to leaders in Kenya. It's warning to leaders in Algeria. It's warning to leaders in Nigeria. In every part of the world. So African need now to understand. Go back on the drawing board. Look at your constitution. What did the constitution say? 2 terms in office? Yes. If you finish your first term, you go back for the second term. If the people vote for you, okay. If not, then of course you give way. This is pure democracy. At some point where in order to lose the election, people take advantage to use arms and other means to kill their own people, the people they're expecting to vote for them. Why Africa? Why are we not practicing the pure democracies that we see in Europe and in America? Why are we not practicing it? And most of our leaders who are trained in Europe and in America, they go back home to take up the leadership of the country, then they go contrary. What is this? What is this happening to African leaders? But it's time now the people of Africa, especially the people, cannot wait and see their leaders corrupt them anymore. It's time for the people. If your two terms in office, if they are over, we make sure we demonstrate, we call for you to obey your terms in office. We'll call for the leaders to obey the terms in office. Just 2 terms. Some leaders are being in authority for 42 years, 30 years. Why? Why Africa? The situations in Ivory Coast should serve as a warning. It's a writing on the wall to leaders all over in Africa and in other parts of the world who think they can take advantage of the people, who think they can take advantage of their constitution to glue to power, to stay as long as they want to in power. No. Africans are not going to tolerate that anymore. We don't want to use arms as a means of getting our people out. We want the pure democratic system, the pure democratic means. We want to go to the poll to elect our people. We don't want to use arms, no arms to be used in Africa and in any part of the world to resolve situations. If you lose the election, you got a process in which you can, by other means, but not by arms. The situations in Africa people have died already. Life and property destroyed. And yet, Gbagbo coming and asking his people to lay down their arms after he had been captured. Whereby he should have said a long time ago. So African leaders, the people of Africa are watching. We want a pure democratic system to be carried on in Africa. We want our African leaders, our African people to go to the poll to freely elect the leaders. Not to be afraid, but to openly elect their leaders. So leaders all over in Africa, this is a warning. If you cannot abide by your constitution, you will be disgraced. Leaders, if you cannot abide by your constitution, if you serve your first term, and if you serve your second term, you cannot go back for third term. There's no third term, I believe, in any African constitution that call for a leader to go back in third terms, to go for the third terms. There's nothing like that in any, I believe, in the constitutions of African country. Some countries have 4 years, first term. Some countries have 6 years, but the second term is no. The third term is no. We Africans should respect our constitution. We Africans should respect our people. We Africans should respect other people. We Africans, we should not resolve means by arms. There are so many things. People in Africa are dying of AIDS. They are dying of things. Then to bring arms and kill our people, that is not right. We should learn to resolve our situation. We should learn to resolve every other means through the democratic process and system. Thank you. There has been a special production of Africa in Crisis by Reverend Philip Blamo. God bless you. Talk to you later. Bye.